up, guys? This is your SoCal fishing forecast for Thursday, November 18th. I'm Jeff, and this is the Chasing Pelagics channel, bringing you the latest, greatest information off the water. Currently, this is a live look at the Dana Point Harbor boat ramp at the Embarcadero Marina, and we got word today that they've started removing the barriers, allowing the parking lot to expand back to its original configuration. So, super stoked on that, and we look forward to the continued progress in the harbor and making this thing bigger and better. Current look at the weather, we have our current fall conditions going on. The last couple of days, cloudy, a little bit wet in the morning. And then this weekend, things fire up again, 80 degrees as we get into a little bit of a Santa Ana wind condition. And we'll start off here with the look at Thursday. And things are looking like the usual fall weather that we were expecting early in September and October that we just didn't quite get. But light onshore winds, looking pretty nice out there. Just a little bit of bump, 12 knots and less. And Saturday, it speeds up a little bit, but overall it's not really too concerning. It's pretty short-lived here. Now, as we roll into Sunday, things take a turn for direction. And this is where the Santa Ana winds start kicking in. Offshore flow. And this is going to help keep those water temps up. Still hanging in there. It lasts a lot longer than I thought they would, so we'll see what happens here. But keep an eye on this. These things get stronger. You may not want to head off too far offshore. Get yourself caught in the wrong direction coming home. So we'll keep an eye on that. The oil spill response. We finally got an update here. This is from the 5th, but it makes a little bit more sense what we got going on here. They just collected samples late last month. They went to a lab on November 3rd. Although people are swimming in this water and they're doing just fine, they are still leaving it closed to fishing. And the reason is they're expecting these fish that they had sampled, that they won't get the results for 14 business days, which puts it somewhere at the end of November. And the reason why they waited is they wanted to make sure that they had an accurate assessment, not only from fish, but from crustaceans, including oysters, clams, mussels, all that kind of stuff. But the reason is that sometimes it can take weeks for these things to see the levels of hydrocarbons that are inside them. Not so much the fish, but the mussels and things like that can't move away from the oil when it comes to shore or in the deeper water. So hopefully we'll have this thing lifted at the end of November, assuming everything looks like it's going to be okay, which so far, it looks like that's going to happen. So we'll see what happens. Apparently Fishing Game is starting to enforce this a little bit, mainly from guys doing shore fishing. So just be advised. Doesn't sound like they're writing tickets. They really don't want to have any part of this either, but it's not their closure. It's the California Office of Environmental Health and Hazard. So it is what it is, guys. We'll have to write it out. But in the meantime, we still got some fishing going on here. And quick look at our water temps. This is the 3-day chart here. And the orange would be 66-degree water, which I did not think we'd be seeing this late in November. So, maybe we'll have Christmas on Cortez. We'll see how it goes. But let's roll into the chloro chart just so you can get another idea of what's going on. Not so dramatic, but you can kind of see we have this little arch here, a little color break going on. But that's pretty helpful. Let's talk about fishing. We'll start off, obviously, the closure. This area is still completely closed. You can check out SoCalOilSpillResponse.com for the exact coordinates of that. Catalina has been awfully quiet. We're starting to looking for those sea bass as soon as the squid really gets steady on the backside, on the east side, Silver Canyon, Salta Verde area. Once that starts popping up, we're going to start looking for predators to start moving in. But so far, no signs of that at the moment. However, we've got tuna on the run pretty much everywhere right now. And if you're heading offshore, you should definitely keep your eyes open. Make sure you bring a pair of gyros, because right now you can run into something just about anywhere. And as we get into fall, these things start to retreat and swim around and migrate. And you never know we're going to run into them. Remember these things in the fall and then also in the spring months when they're kind of moving off the bank and looking to move, you're going to see a lot of them. And you're gonna probably see more jumping around and splashing than you will be catching. But sometimes they'll be up quick. Sometimes they'll be not seen at all. So just keep an eye on your meter, eye on the birds, and your eyes on the gyros, and you'll get a good chance of taking a look at them. But we'll start with Zencoming Island. We've seen a little spot of yellowtail pop up on Persane Rock and down here in Pyramid Cove. They're catching them on the dropper loop and the yo-yo, being caught near the bottom. This is the typical wintertime style fishing for yellowtail. Dropper loop seems to work the best. They don't always come up to the surface, but sometimes you got to bring the meat to them. So dropper loop or the yo-yo. Squid has been working if you can make some down there. I don't know if anyone's selling squid at the moment, but also they were getting a couple on the sardine as well. So nothing to be too worried about. Tanner and Cortez, we still got this beautiful grade bluefin going on here. Anywhere from 40 to 200, just depends on the day and where you happen to find them. But it's been continuous, guys. And, you know, I always talk about fall fishing and giving up once it gets going late here. But until it's over, it ain't over. So guys have been continuing to run out here. And just so we go back to our temperature chart here, we're still looking pretty good. That yellow water is 64, and we were worried about it going in that 62 phase, but Santa Ana winds are keeping this stuff up and keeping it warm, so those fish are going to hang out just for a little bit more. But we have seen some fish start to rotate back closer to home, as we mentioned last week. So far this week, we see them at the West Butterfly, see them at the East Butterfly, see them at the 43, see them Coronado Canyon. So anywhere on your way out to Tanner or Cortez, you might run into these fish. So give it a look. If the conditions look good, slow down, take a look around, especially on the slack tides. You're bound to run into this stuff. It isn't only smaller fish down here. We're seeing 100-pound fish also. So it's nice when this stuff comes a little bit closer to home instead of having to run 100 miles. So that's the good news. Coronado Islands, the San Diego has switched back from offshore fishing back to proper island fishing at the Coronados, and they picked up 6 or 7 yellows the other day, and they actually look to be good, proper size ones. Nice, 15, 20 pounders. And the reason is, guys, I mean, it's not so much fun to catch little 4-pound yellowtail on kelp patties. And even though there still is some holding yellows, probably 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 in this area still. Just not a whole lot of fun to catch, so why not go fish the islands proper, old school, winter style, and we'll see what happens. But over the weekend, we had the first IGFA Swordfish Open, and it went pretty well. We had 29 teams. 7 fish were hooked. 5 were boated, 2 were released, and I think there's a couple other hookups as well that were lost. But overall, good showing. I don't have the numbers in front of me here, but the heaviest fish was right around 300 pounds. So although it's been a pretty slow year for swordfish, November is usually the time when we really hit them hard. But oh well, it was a good start, some good notoriety to this fishery, and hopefully we start seeing more of it. So that's all we got this week, guys. We'll be back next week. Until this stuff is dead and gone, we'll keep on reporting. So take care, have a good weekend. Cheers. If you like what you saw today, you can subscribe to our channel or follow us along on Instagram and Facebook. And always remember, share the stoke.